Hail adventurers! In this Geas quest, let's talk about a very controversial topic every time you bring it up. Though usually it's just for specific games like Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder. Let's talk a little bit about alignments and the wars people have with alignments. See, the thing is that I'm opposed to alignments altogether. I hate alignments. Specifically alignments how D&D and Pathfinder manage them, because alignments are forces of nature in these games, because you have outsiders who are, part of their being and essence is that alignment. Devils, part of their being is being lawful and evil. Demons are chaotic. Archons are chaotic and good. Angels are lawful and good. and that's part of their being. However, I don't believe these systems use them properly. No, I don't want to say properly, but not as they should. Because if you're gonna make something like alignments, like you are chaotic good, you are Robin Hood, but you have to be chaotic good, because if you falter, you may change alignment. Nowadays it's not that bad, but back in 2nd edition, if you changed alignments, you did something to change alignments, you took a XP penalty, and nobody likes that. That's why they removed it, because a lot of people were house ruling, removing that rule. So when 3rd edition came along, they just removed that rule altogether. But I don't see alignment having that much of an impact in the game, so to me it's superfluous. That's the issue. I think alignment should just completely be removed, with the grand exception, of course, of the Paladin. But the Paladin has a code. I think as long as the Paladin keeps that code, you can obviate most of the alignment issue. Because really, if you remove alignment, all you're doing is the Paladin's might doesn't work anymore, but you can just house rule it to deal damage anyways. Celestial and infernal creatures, their smite doesn't work anymore, and a couple of spells get affected by it, like Word of Law, Chaos Hammer, and things like that get affected. But honestly, that's about it. So you could have a campaign where alignment never comes into play, and I guess you're saying then just ignore it. But I don't like having something in a book and just being completely and utterly superfluous, like how Gnosis was in Anima. Like, there's no real rules to how to use it. But in Pathfinder and in Dungeons and Dragons, there's no real rules to alignment, at least if being of a certain alignment gave you a benefit, but it doesn't. So something that you want to keep your alignment, but there's really nothing that gives you an advantage. It's not like, as long as you're this alignment, your weapons are always gonna bypass damage reduction of that type. That could have been something, because then you're gonna have people wanting to play good characters to be able to bypass damage reduction good. That's actually a really good idea. I like that idea, actually. But it's superfluous, and the major problem because it's superfluous is because characters are multi-dimensional. Unless you have a villain who is, Bedong, I am evil incarnate and that's all I do. I eat babies. If you're baby eater, that's fine. You're evil and you're a one-track villain. That's fine. But characters are different. Player characters are very different, because they tend to be multifaceted, multi-dimensional. And it's like, you're good and you can only be good. That's why I'm against people that try to put alignments on characters of TV shows, because even if it's a fantasy show, their characteristics and the way they behave are more towards real life people. And real life people, nobody here can say, oh, I'm strictly lawful neutral, or I'm strictly lawful good. You're not, because you're multifaceted. Same way you can't tell me you're evil unless you're actually, evil crazy. It's like, oh, you're evil. What's the worst thing you've done? I've stolen a couple of things. You're not evil. Stop kidding yourself. You're not the Joker. But that's the thing. That's the issue with alignments. People try to put characters in these alignments. Then you have alignment wars where people are arguing, no, that's not that alignment, you're not that alignment, when somebody does something in a game and somebody's like, oh no, your character couldn't do that because that's not your character's alignment. But if it's within the game and within the the story, it would make sense for the character to do so, then let him do so. Don't stop him just because of a superfluous thing as alignment where it's just a name. It's just a name, it doesn't have any real weight to it. So let me go a little bit into the alignments. You have the lawful goods, which usually are the paladins. Usually paladins play paladins play lawful good. Nobody else tends to play lawful good. At least I haven't seen that many people that play lawful good. You have the neutral good people. I usually see a lot of people fall into neutral good. Chaotic good, a lot of people also play it. Lawful neutral, usually I see people that play monks play them lawful neutral. True neutral, it's funny because in true neutral is I have a friend that he hates alignments too. And for the longest time, every time he would make a character, he would just play them lawful neutral. And he would take that as an excuse to, I can do whatever I want because I'm totally neutral. So it doesn't matter what I do, I can fluctuate among all of them. By the alignment rules, not really, because that's not what lawful neutral, that's not what true neutral is. I'm sorry, that's not what true neutral is. True neutral is you are neutral to everything. You're neither sway to good or sway to evil. You don't do both sometimes. That's not what true neutral is. True neutral is neutrality, nature and stuff like that. So I've also seen, besides my friend, I've seen a lot of people do that. Oh, I'm true neutral because, screw alignments. I hate alignments. You have chaotic neutral. I'm gonna leave that one for last. You have lawful evil, and I see a lot of people play lawful evil because, yeah, my character's evil, but he wants to save the world, so... And they only do that so they can get away with killing guards and stealing from, guards and stuff like that. Neutral evil, I barely ever see this one. I have a friend that he always plays neutral evil, even if he doesn't tell the game master. But it's the whole, I'm in it for me and nobody else. But, at that point, why are you even adventuring? If you're not gonna be a team player, because at the end of the day, the tabletop role-playing games are, team games. I'm gonna put the... Yeah, I just realized I don't have the timer, the stopwatch on, so I don't know how long I've been talking, and I have to refresh the camera. Then you have chaotic evil. Chaotic evil is just crazy. Crazy evil, I kill and I eat babies because you're Bedong, you're evil incarnate. I don't know why anybody would allow anybody playing that alignment, but hey. Now the alignment I say for last, chaotic neutral, and I hate this alignment. I don't hate the alignment per se, but I hate how people use the alignment. Either you have the people that, oh, I'm chaotic neutral, I can do whatever I want because I'm chaotic neutral. If I want to be evil one day, I'll be evil one day. I can even be lawful because I'm chaotic. I'm that crazy. Or you have the psychopath that is like, I'm chaotic neutral, I can kill. I'm still not evil because I'm chaotic neutral. And stuff like that. Or people that just want to be dicks all the time and be disruptive players. Why did you do that? Oh, I'm chaotic neutral. That's not what chaotic neutral means. Chaotic neutral is you're selfish. But you're still not evil. You're not gonna go ahead and kill somebody just because they have an amulet that you find pretty. That's chaotic evil. That's not chaotic neutral. Chaotic neutral could try to steal it and then sell it for a profit and keep the profit. That's what chaotic neutral could do. Chaotic neutral could also try to talk to the players to see if he can get a little bit more of the cut of the loot. That could be also chaotic neutral. Chaotic neutral could also be, he has a praise saying, oh, this amulet, oh no, it's just worth 50 gold pieces, and you keep it, and then you sell it for 200 gold pieces, which is actually what it's worth. You're looking out for yourself, but you're not being destructive. Chaotic neutral is not I'm going to kill you and take that amulet for myself. That's chaotic evil. A lot of people like to take chaotic neutral as a carte blanche to do whatever they want, and that's why I don't allow chaotic neutral. Unless I know the player can play a good chaotic neutral, I don't allow chaotic neutral. I have a lot of friends that don't allow chaotic neutral for the same reason. Because, again, a lot of people take chaotic neutral as, lol, I'm random. And that's not what chaotic neutral is. Chaotic neutral is not Deadpool. Chaotic neutral is not the Joker. That is not what chaotic neutral is. Now let's talk a little bit about the whole mechanics of alignment, because you have paladins that fall from grace. Is whenever they change alignments, they lose all their powers. And to me, this is a very dangerous weapon, because then you're gonna have game masters that are gonna go after the paladins just to have them fall, and they'll try anything to seduce them just to have the paladins fall, because I don't know, maybe they think that's funny. But you really wanna render a player character completely useless just so you can have your jollies. I don't know, man. I think it's weird doing that. I think it's mean spirited. That's why I'm opposed to the paladin class, because of that. Not because of the powers are really good, but it's just the whole, your powers are tied to your alignment, and alignment is so fickle, because it's completely up to the hands of the game master whatever it is they do with it. That to me shouldn't be, because you have to put power on the game master's hands, but that's too much power. It's the game master decides whether or not my class works. It's like, oh, I killed this person. Oh, he was an innocent. We go into the whole, will the paladin kill the baby orcs? Baby orcs are gonna grow up to be evil orcs, because orcs are evil, unless you have a campaign setting where orcs are not evil. But usually in vanilla fantasy, orcs are evil. Orcs are irrevocably evil. They're evil. And then you put the paladin in this situation, whether or not he's gonna kill the baby orcs. Some people would say, no, if he kills the baby orcs, he falls from grace because they're babies. Other people are gonna say, no, he has to kill the baby orcs because in the future they're gonna become evil anyways. That's, to me, is the problem with alignment, because again, alignment is fickle and it shouldn't be that way. It should be, it's a tabletop role-playing game. I paid $60 for, a rule book. The rule book should tell me things. I don't want to buy something that is superfluous, that I have to make up on the spot, that I have to decide how it works. Either it works or it doesn't work. And again, the whole point that alignment doesn't really give you any benefits unless you're a paladin, because if you're lawful good, you have all those paladin abilities, but that's it. If you're not lawful good, then you're a fighter without bonus feats. And a couple of better saves, that's it. One better save, that's it. That's all you have. Let's see. Now, other games have similar things to alignments. World of Darkness have the morality system, and I think it works well because it gives you guidelines. You have this many points in morality. The lower, I think the lower it is, the more of a psycho you are, and it tells you what happens, how many points go down depending on what you do. I really don't like World of Darkness, but I can give them that. Like, they did their alignment system really well. It gets to a point that if your points are so low, it doesn't matter what you do, it's not gonna keep going down because you're jaded. It gets to a point that when you murder somebody, it's not gonna keep going down because you're used to murdering already. You have to do something even bigger for it to go down. Like at the beginning, if you start stealing too much, it might go down, but it's not gonna go down anymore because you're used to stealing. And it has a chart, and it's really well organized because it tells you, again, the dots of morality versus the things that make it go down. But after that, if you drop one level of morality, the previous ones don't make you go down any further. And I don't know, however, I don't know whether morality affects your abilities in any way, shape, or form. I do know that World of Darkness is a very roleplay heavy game, so you're expected to roleplay your morality. Also, the other supernaturals have their own alignment or morality system. I believe the vampires are humanity. How close are you still to being human? And the whole, if you diablerize a vampire, which means you suck a vampire's blood until the point that you suck their soul out of them, you always go down one if you do that. I'm pretty sure. Might be having that wrong, but every supernatural has their own morality score, and I think that's very well done, because again, World of Darkness is a roleplay heavy system. Now another roleplay, very heavy roleplay, heavy system, Legend of the Five Rings. They have honor, and honestly, if you think about it, honor is sort of their alignment, but it has a lot of uses because honor is implemented into the rules, unlike alignments in Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons. Honor affects your rolls. If you're a lion, you add your roll. You add your You add your honor to your damage. You know, some people can tell how you are depending on your honor score. The more it is, the more people also can recognize you. So their honor, their morale, their alignment is tied to the mechanics of the game. Sadly, in Pathfinder, it doesn't happen because, again, I'm sorry for repeating myself, but it is how it is. Alignments is so superfluous that you could remove it and not that many things are going to be affected. They're simply not, because alignments are not tied to the rules. Very few classes and very few abilities use alignments. I have a couple of house rules. I'm gonna make a analyze Dwemer on those house rules so people can just go directly to those house rules and see them and use them, because I've been using those house rules for the longest time, the alignment house rules I have. Pathfinder Unchained did a couple of things, but honestly I did not like what they did. I don't even remember what they did. I just remember I didn't like how they handle removing alignment from Pathfinder. But that's my main issue with alignments in Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody chooses how to play alignment, you know. At the end of the day, honestly, what the game master says goes, because he's the game master. Don't discuss with your game master whether or not, I mean, unless it's completely unfair. It's like you're a paladin and you were fighting somebody, you didn't know they were enchanted, and you killed them and they were innocent, but you didn't know they were enchanted. He's like, oh no, you fell. Just like that, you don't have any powers anymore, and now you are stuck with a fighter without any bonus feats or class features, and that sucks. That's why it's so difficult, because you know, that guy could have his own reasons for taking away your powers as a paladin, and you have your own reasons as to why you should keep your powers. So, you know, who's to say what's fair to say? That's the thing, nobody can say. What's important to keep in mind is that, you know, evil can love and good can hate. You can be a paladin and hate somebody. That, you know, hate doesn't make you evil. The hate doesn't make you a bad person. Not necessarily. The same way that, you know, you can have a villain that's in love with his wife. For example, I have an example in Ultima 2 where you're fighting Mundane's. You know, in Ultima 1 you kill Mundane. He's an evil wizard. Then in Ultima 2 you're fighting his apprentice, who was also his lover. I forget her name. But the thing is, she's fighting you because you killed Mundane, not because she's, oh, I'm following in my master's footsteps. No, it's like, you killed the man that I love, so now I'm gonna kill you. Evil can love, good can hate. They're not mutually exclusive, and I feel a lot of people think they are, and that's why, you know, you have these many problems with alignments. I have another thing I read once. It was a guy talking about, oh, there's this NPC in a game where, you know, the game master says she's chaotic neutral. She's chaotic neutral, and she's trying to summon Cthulhu. Now she doesn't know what Cthulhu's capable of, and the way I rule it, if she doesn't know what she's doing, I can do neutral. Heck, I could even do good. If she doesn't know what Cthulhu does, but she's still killing people, she's evil. If her cult is hurting people, she's evil. There's no way you can explain to me that she's neutral. Even if she, oh no, it's for the greater good. You're not killing people for the greater good. It doesn't happen. It's, again, you know, if you go by by how alignment is defined in the books, you're not good if you're killing people. Now, I can allow that person also to be neutral or to be good if they find out what Cthulhu is capable of. drop them down instantly to evil if they keep going on with the idea of summoning Cthulhu or any other elder god, whatever. That's just an example. But if the BBEG is neutral or something, it's not evil, and they find out what Cthulhu is and they feel bad about it, they feel remorse, and they want to quit, that's fine. These are not evil people because they realize that what they're doing is wrong. However, if they want to keep going at it, you have to change their alignment to evil. At that point, they cannot remain neutral. It's a whole problem a friend of mine had in a campaign he was in, where he was a paladin, and a lot of the people he fought, they were chaotic neutral, because the game master was like, oh no, they're evil, they're doing bad things, they're killing people, but they're not evil, they're just chaotic neutral because, you know, they're crazy, whatever. But again, that's why that's why we hate chaotic neutral so much, because chaotic neutral is not that. You're not gonna kill people, not feel remorse, and not be evil. You know, if you're gonna kill people and be okay with it, you're evil. Let the paladin have his might. That's another thing that happens. A lot of game masters don't let the paladin get his might. That's his only way of dealing damage. You know, if he's fighting a giant enraged boar, it's fine because it's an animal. Animals don't have alignments, or at least shouldn't have. But if it's a guy, a human, that has killed people before and wants to kill more people because he thinks it's funny, that guy is evil. That guy should be able to get smited by the paladin. Not like, oh no, he's crazy, he doesn't know what he's doing, so he's chaotic neutral. That's not how it is. I hate alignments, guys. I hate alignments so much because nobody runs alignment properly, and I think it's superfluous because it has no real impact on the rules. If it had any real impact on the rules, I'd be okay with it, but since it's so superfluous, see, because that's the problem. It's superfluous and it brings problems in the gaming table. You know, you have something that is completely and utterly negative. There's nothing good about alignment. You know, there's nothing positive about alignments. It just brings contempt, brings fights, and confusion, because then you have people going to the forum boards, oh, my game master said that this is not evil, but I think it is. And then you have people siding with him, you have people siding with the game master, and then you have the game master pissed off that he's talking about his campaign on a forum boards when he specifically said it's not evil, and that's that. Alignments should be removed. I'll talk to you guys later. I need to think about other things that are not alignments because it's getting me angry. Remember, adventurers, evil can love, good can hate. Fuck alignments, cause they're stupid rules. God bless World of Darkness and God bless Legend of the Five Rings, cause they did morality systems and they did them well. But alignments are stupid and they should be struck from the annals of histories. Until next time, adventurers, have a good one.